Welcome to the porch. It is 5:43 on a Wednesday evening, May 27th. My God, that's the kind of day I've had. We're back in March, apparently. May 27th. Welcome to the porch. It is still raining. I took a nap. What did you do today? That's what I did. The dog was scared of the storm. We crawled up on the couch. We fell asleep. I went and got a gallon of milk and a pack of cigarettes, and now we're home. Cheers. How was your day? On a wet and wonderful Wednesday. Hello. If you need more headlines, since we didn't cover enough this morning, let's start right in, shall we? Oil is now under $90 a barrel. Super excited about that. Amy Bach, the head and CEO of Feeding Our Future, a fraudulent charity in Minnesota, gathered almost $250 million from taxpayers to feed children. The money didn't go anywhere except to her own pocket. She just got sentenced to 41.5 years in prison. Finally, some consequences for some actions. Thomas Massey and his wife were on vacation with Marjorie Taylor Greene and her husband in Costa Rica. I find that interesting. I find it interesting that also in the district that he just lost, they broke ground on a 300-acre mega data center run by Terry. I said this. Wonder where we get all that money to go on vacation. Anyway, Pam Bondi has announced, the former Attorney General has announced that she is battling thyroid cancer and that she has just went through some treatment. So prayers to Pam. Pretty excited about that. A reporter in the Epstein investigation is fleeing the country because she was attacked from a direct energy weapon. Something to think about. The GDP for the United States is supposed to be bigger this year than India, China, and Germany combined. Also, Al Green lost Texas, thank God. Now, if he would just run on back to wherever he came from. He is such a rude person. In other news and political and legal battles, Joe Biden is filing a lawsuit against the Department of Justice to block the release of audio recordings and transcripts from his past special counsel interview. What are you hiding, Joe? What is it that you don't want us to know, Nixon? What is it? What is it that we shouldn't be hearing? We know that you couldn't sign your own name, but we think that you might have had enough cognition to know that you was screwing the American public for 4 years. But what do I know? Ken Paxton secured a landslide victory over John Cornyn in the Texas state Republican runoff with heavy endorsement from Donald Trump, our president, cementing Trump's month-long campaign of GOP primary revenge, which he is doing. He also warned Iran today, saying during a cabinet meeting that Iran is negotiating on fumes regarding a potential peace deal, standing firm on his maximum demands despite recent signals that an agreement was close. Welcome to the FAFO. All right. Washington paper mill disaster. If you were up in that neck of the woods, we're praying for you. 2 workers are confirmed dead and 9 remain missing after a massive chemical tank imploded at the Nippon Dynawave plant in Longview, Washington earlier. Local officials state there is no hope of finding any survivors. What a sad day. Matthew Perry's assistant was sentenced, Kenneth Iwamasa was sentenced to over 3 years in prison for injecting the Friend star with ketamine, marking the final sentencing of 5 people charged in the death of Perry in 2023. Sounds like we're coming to that bridge we said we'd cross when we come to it. Minneapolis police chief resigns. Police chief Brian O'Hara resigned following an internal probe revealing he deleted a contact from his city phone to conceal a connection to an employee. What was you doing, Brian? What was you doing? What were you doing that you can't serve and protect anymore? Or who were you serving and protecting that now it's a conflict of interest? Inquiring minds want to know. Air defense for Ukraine in the world news. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky can't even talk today. The guy that wears his pajamas to the White House sent an urgent appeal to President Trump over Memorial Day weekend requesting expanded deliveries of U.S. Patriot missile systems to fend off Russian ballistic strikes. Nay, says we. Figure it out. We've given you enough money. Either go back home or plant your own flag. The Ebola quarantine in Kenya. The U.S. administration announced plans to establish a makeshift quarantine hospital facility in Kenya to house Americans exposed to or infected with Ebola while traveling abroad. So rather than bring them home, we're going to be like, hey, go to Kenya and get better and then you can come home. Just saying. There is an AI chip market milestone today in the news and tech business. South Korean semiconductor giant SK Hynix crossed the $1 trillion market value milestone, joining Samsung and Micron in a massive surge driven by the intense global demand for AI chipsets. So, just so you know, in regional headlines today, hang on, got to scroll down. Regional headlines in my neck of the woods are currently dominated by widespread flood watches and severe weather warnings, a search for a teen homicide suspect in Charleston's west side, and a mounting public pushback against a planned Putnam County data center. Severe storms and flood watch. The West Virginia Emergency Management Division has kept a flood watch in effect across much of the state until 2 a.m. on Thursday morning. Heavy rounds of rainfall have triggered localized flash flooding, high water, and damaging wind risks. Remember, turn around, don't drown. You might float, but your car won't. In Mason County, local emergency crews remain deployed in Mason County, assisting residents with cleanup efforts following an extensive flash flooding that swamped several local neighborhoods. The Ohio border chemical incident, if you don't know anything about it, just across the river in Gallia County, Ohio, emergency officials lifted a precautionary evacuation order near Chestnut Street following a minor chemical spill at a local water treatment plant that was temporarily displaced its residents today. That's all clear now, so you're fine to go home. In Charleston, the Charleston West Side, the police department is actively searching for a 15-year-old suspect accused of shooting and killing a 17-year-old male during what investigators described as a planned, isolated robbery attempt in a Washington Street West parking lot. Scary world we're living in. A Charleston man has been arrested and charged in connection with multiple breaking and entering incidents targeting local Little League facilities. I don't know what you do with that many bats and balls, but he's really hankering for something, so we got a serial bandit on the loose. Authorities have launched an investigation after an inmate serving a sentence for robbery passed away at the USB Hazleton Federal Facility in Preston County. There's federal prison death. We always have to do an investigation. Here in Putnam County, the data center pushback. Over a dozen residents voiced strong opposition during a packed county commission meeting last night. Speaking out against a massive commercial rezoning project proposed for a new data center. Bad news bears, they've already broke ground. So unless you have $1 trillion to buy them out of that, it's right on the river. They need the farmland and we need the data center. You really want to get pissed off Putnam County, get Scott Edwards out of the mayor's seat. Greenbrier financing legal battle. Creditors for the Greenbrier Resort have filed documents in federal court challenging recent claims by Governor Jim Justice's family that they successfully secured a new refinancing agreement to cover outstanding loan balances. In case you don't know, the former governor, who is now in Washington, owns the largest golf club and resort in West Virginia, and they're kind of wondering where all that money to restore it came from. I just write country songs. Okay. Governor Patrick Morrisey announced that more than $1.15 million infrastructure funding has been approved by the state to repair and update water and sewer lines across Kanawha, Tucker, and Barber counties. So, yay for that. In Kentucky news, because, we do ride the line here. Hang on, I need a cigarette. That's a lot of information. You don't have to smoke cigarettes. I do. But I'm not sharing because they're $12 a pack. So, if you want them, buy them yourself. The Gavaden investigation closes today. The U.S. Chemical Safety Board released its final report concerning the fatal Gavaden Sense Color plant explosion in Louisville. Investigators formally declared the incident, which took place over a year and a half ago, a preventable catastrophe. So I'm sure that there's going to be some consequences for those actions. Bitcoin mining firm TerraWolf announced a major expansion into eastern Kentucky right on the borders of Carter, Boyd, and Greenup County in the industrial park with over 300 acres secured. The company purchased a new high-performance computing development site to establish a large-scale data hub known as the Muskie Data Campus. We'll be producing 1 gigawatt of power every day, so good luck with your power bills. Blue Oval SK deal revised. The state of Kentucky revised its $250 million economic development deal with Blue Oval SK following a temporary assembly line shutdown, restructuring the funding timeline to protect local taxpayer investments. In the weather in Kentucky, a series of heavy downpours prompted flash flood warnings and watches because of all of this incessant rain. State highway authorities urged drivers to slow down along I-75 after a spike in rain-induced traffic accidents. Let me just give you a heads up. Wait a minute, I got something on my eye. Got it. Man, that hurt. If you're traveling from Clays Ferry Bridge to Mount Vernon on I-75, slow the hell down. And here's why. They did all that road work. They didn't do no drainage. So it's real easy to hydroplane, especially when you're going 80 miles an hour in a 70 right there between Buc-ee's and Berea. So slow the hell down. It'll still be there when you get there. Just letting you know. State police confirmed that a 19-year-old Mount Sterling resident was killed after losing control of his vehicle on a wet roadway during the peak of Tuesday evening's severe thunderstorms. Our hearts go out to that young man or young woman. No, it was a man, young man. Fayette County Public School cuts. The Fayette County Public School Board of Education finalized a plan to cut roughly 120 district jobs in an aggressive measure to close an $11 million budget deficit. Fayette County has always had a problem figuring out where their money's going. Just letting you know. Bobcat fever warning. State veterinarians issued an urgent warning to pet owners after a spike in, I'm going to try real hard, cytozoonosis. Cytauxzoonosis. Cytozoonosis. It's not as fun as tardive dyskinesia, but what can you do? It's bobcat fever in domestic cats. The deadly tick-borne disease can be fatal to felines within 48 hours of symptom onset. So, if you don't have Prevective for your cat, or you don't have any kind of tick prevention on that cat, get it now, because these tick bites are serious not only for humans but for felines as well. A 40-year-old Louisville man was sentenced to 15 years in a federal prison for illegal firearm possession. The arrest occurred after he discharged a weapon in a crowded area immediately following a separate fatal double shooting. It's according to Fox 56 just a few moments ago. I have to scroll down. I saved all these for you. So I have to scroll down to access them so I can read them, because I don't have a prompter nor television studio. Oh, the Chicks, formerly known as the Dixie Chicks before they got liberal. They have announced a 2026 tour. The Chicks have announced a 26-date headlining tour launching September 30th to celebrate the 20th anniversary of their Grammy Award-winning album, Taking the Long Way. They're still not ready to make nice, and Trump doesn't like her. But if you want to go waste your money on listening to Wide Open Spaces, be my guest. Alan Jackson's send-off. George Strait and Lainey Wilson have officially joined the all-star lineup for Alan Jackson's final touring show on June 27th at Nashville's Nissan Stadium. That will be the last show that you ever see Alan Jackson at. Get your tickets now. CMA Fest lineup updates ahead of next week's festival in Nashville, Tennessee, formerly known as Fanfare. MCA announced a free 2-day live from the Skydeck showcase on Broadway featuring Miranda Lambert's Crisco Disco Brunch and Little Big Town's only performance of the festival. Riley Green is also named for a co-host with Lara Spencer for the CMA Fest TV special. Luke Combs continued his stadium dominance by breaking his third venue attendance record of the year, this time at Green Bay's Lambeau Field. As far as personal news and artist milestones, Zach Brown weds Kendra Scott. Zach Brown quietly tied the knot with jewelry designer Kendra Scott during a private ceremony in Greece, surrounded by their children. Mazel tov and many happy returns. Lainey Wilson is now married. In addition to our concert news, Lainey Wilson recently married former NFL player Devlin Duck Hodges next to a waterfall in a cave in Tennessee. Everybody was there, and it was beautiful. Jake Worthington steps away. Traditional artist Jake Worthington announced he is stepping away from country music and touring to focus on his health and family. Seems like I called that 1.5 years ago, too, when my bass player left me high and dry at a gig, and I said, you're only going to be doing that for about 1.5 years before he gives up. Where's my book? That's all right. Fast-rising newcomer Zach John King celebrated a career milestone by making his official Grand Ole Opry debut over the weekend. Congratulations to Zach, yet another Zach in the ever-ending tapestry of country music. Tucker Wetmore secures his #1 breakthrough on his very first country airplay #1 hit with Brunette. Congratulations. Willie Nelson is preparing to release his 79th studio album. 79th. Some of y'all can't even count that high. Dream Chaser, which features 6 newly co-written original songs. So Willie Nelson's fixing to do an album drop. Super exciting. Co Wetzel's next single, Text Rocker. Co Wetzel released a statement saying Hurts Like You as the lead radio single for his upcoming album, The Night Champion, and it's coming out June the 12th. Pretty excited about that. I have to scroll down again. My bad. I wish I had a prompter, but I don't. Oh, get really excited. Office Romance world premiere. Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, was back. Hit the red carpet at Los Angeles' Egyptian Theater for the debut of Netflix's Office Romance. She praised co-star Brett Goldstein, who also penned the film, naming him her favorite romantic-leaning man. Anybody want to take their bets on when there's a J-Lo Brett coming up? There's been Ben and Jen and Enrique and then Jen and Ben again, and now she's really liking this lead man. At this point, J-Lo is like the Elizabeth Taylor. Okay, A24 drops Primetime trailer. The A24 unveiled the chilling official teaser for Primetime, a highly anticipated thriller starring Robert Pattinson that has quickly dominated online pop culture circles. I just read about it today on TikTok. I'm going to have to look at it. There's something in my eyelashes, and it's not glue. Hang on, I'm using it as a mirror. It was in my line of vision, and it was bugging the shit out of me. Sorry. Hello, Debbie. How are you? Hi, Lisa. Spielberg's Disclosure Day raves. Early industry reactions dropped for Steven Spielberg's upcoming feature Disclosure Day, with critics hailing it as the director's most accomplished work in 2 decades. Get real excited about it. It deals with aliens, and he knows aliens. He came out with E.T. Drama on the Mobland set. Reports surfaced from the production of Mobland revealing that actor Tom Hardy was fired after allegedly keeping legendary co-stars Pierce Brosnan and Helen Mirren waiting for hours by refusing to leave his trailer. Tom, you're going to have to act right. The Fox executive was exonerated. A federal judge in Brooklyn dismissed all remaining international corruption and bribery charges against the former Fox International Channel CEO, Hernan Lopez, concluding a multi-year legal battle over international soccer TV rights. Joy Behar announces a hiatus, thank God. Longtime co-host Joy Behar surprised fans by announcing she's taking an extended summer hiatus from The View. Maybe she'll quit. Maybe she'll never come back. We can only hope. The only person I've wanted to shut up more besides my mother is Joy Behar. Emily in Paris ending confirmed. Netflix announced that its hit comedy series Emily in Paris will officially conclude after an upcoming 6th season, which is currently filming on location in Greece. Fresh off her win from American Idol, Hannah Harper announced that she will join Lorna Lane's upcoming Stages tour as the opening act starting this October. Very excited for that. Congratulations. Madonna's surprise performance. Madonna shocked a West Hollywood crowd by showing up unannounced at the Abbey alongside producer Stuart Price. She previewed her upcoming single Freedom to promote her studio album Confessions Part 2, set to drop July the 3rd. I was outside getting stuff out of the chicken coop a while ago, and some rain found out of my ear, so I apologize that I was picking up my ear. Dakota Johnson sells treehouse. Dakota Johnson officially listed her famous West Hollywood mid-century modern home for $6 million. She purchased the landmark property a decade ago following her breakout role in 50 Shades of Grey. So if you would like to have the home of Dakota Johnson, daughter of Dawn and Melanie, it is up for sale if you just have a cool $6 million laying around. Pretty exciting news all the way around today. So, if you're looking for the top topics around social media today, that's what's going on. If you're keeping up with all the social media challenges and whatnot, the model pose, glow down and glow up using the track Dace by Slater. Creators started their videos looking completely exhausted, stressed, or unpolished. And when the beat drops, they instantly snap into high fashion, exaggerated model poses using nothing but raw confidence and sharp eye contact. That's stupid. So you mean I could just be like, and then that song will come on, I'll be like, give me your eyebrow. The what? Mental spiral. Have you seen this? Creators share a simple selfie or mirror video with text overlays detailing a tiny everyday trigger that completely sent them into an unnecessary overreaction or panic mode. Every day is my what? Mental spiral. I'm glad that they're finally documenting it on social media. Tapping into massive Gen Z and millennial nostalgia. Users are filming themselves perfectly mimicking the idle animations, menu layouts, background tracks, and glitchy movements of the 90s video game selection screens. There is also a new challenge about Toy Story. Have you seen this? Andy's come in and they all fall down. It's how well you can say stiff. It's really funny. I've watched a couple guys do it so far, and one of them broke his nose. It's like that hardcore parkour stuff that we were doing. I know that I'm looking over at my prompter right now, but I'm reading the news to you right now, and we're not discussing things like we are on a telephone. Following the massive wave of beef tallow skincare, the animal fat moisturizing trend has officially jumped to hair care. We're putting lard in our hair, apparently. Videos are showcasing raw tallow hair masks that are raking up millions of views. Why? Why put lard in your hair? Everybody knows you put egg, olive oil, and mayonnaise. Sometimes you wash it with a beer. This is not news. This is just what's happening in the world. The niche male grooming subculture continues to drive physical product sales with jawline-defining mastic gums called jawline gums and LED gua sha tools dominating fitness and beauty feeds. Basically, they're telling you that you can chew gum and get a better jawline, or you can take a stick that looks like this and rub it up your fascia and We've been doing this for years. I don't know why this is now news, but it's all right. It's the Look Smacksy Essentials. Under the hashtag lock-in, creators are publicly committing to intensive, unfiltered study, fitness, or career routines. They reject aesthetic soft life montages in favor of showing the gritty, exhausting process of self-improvement. Or in other words, they're doing cigarette mom every morning on their porch. This is not polished. This is not scripted. This is not thought out. This is literally flying by the seat of your pants and talking to your friends on the porch while smoking 2 or 3 cigarettes at a time. That's not lock-in culture. That's housewife culture. If I don't have to leave the house, I ain't. I don't want to. Michael Jackson Renaissance. Have you seen this? Following the massive box office success of Michael, the biopic starring his nephew Jafar Jackson, tracks like Beat It and You Rock My World are completely dominating dance tutorials and cinematic transitions. Bring it back. Bring back the MJ, the classic MJ, where he still had the glove and the jacket and all the frills. Bring it back. Bring back. Everybody do a Thriller. Everybody do Bad. Everybody do They Don't Care About Us. Bring it back. How do I feel about the Illuminati? I'm not allowed to talk about that. I don't give a damn about it. I've read Dan Brown. I've read the Bible. Make your own deferment. Pretty Little Baby by Connie Francis. Are you excited about that? Have you heard this song? The unreleased retro deep cut has completely exploded as the default aesthetic background audio for couples, pets, and vintage fashion looks. I'm so excited that she's getting another resurgence. That is the greatest thing ever. Pretty Little Baby. So good. So good. So those are your TikTok trends for the day. Your news and regional headlines and a little bit of entertainment music news. In other news, a baby chicken did not survive today. I didn't think it would. It was born a little early. Its feet were webbed, and it was either part duck or not old enough to be out of the shell. And my guess is it was not old enough to be out of the shell. It was just too weak. I didn't cry. I didn't cry today. I hadn't named that one, and I hadn't taken care of that one in the Barbie Dream house, so everything's all right. I got really tickled. My granny called me day before yesterday. Was it yesterday? She called me this week and left me a voicemail. A voicemail. A voicemail on a cellular device. And this is how that voicemail went. Sarah. Sarah. Sarah, 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 Sarah. It's Granny. Pick up, pick up, pick up. I can't hear any of that. It's not an answering machine. It's a voicemail. So I had to wait for it to transcript it, and all I can see is my name over and over and over and over again because I can't answer it now. It's already went to the voicemail. So I called her back, and I was like, she said, "Did you hear my message?" I was like, "Because I clicked on it. I don't have a machine." Well, it beeped. It's not the same. And it's not as funny as my Aunt Nell. Now, listen, this is what cracks me up. She is 87 years old. She has learned to talk to text. Only problem is she doesn't know when to hit send. So, like today, I got a text message that said, "Sarah, who was the principal when you was a senior in high school? Let me know." Then it said, "If you suffer from mesothelioma," a whole bunch of stuff written in my text. And then it said, 800-588-2300 Empire today. Then it said, 877 cash now, J.G. Whitworth. I'm like, I really thought she was having a stroke, but then I realized that she has set the talk to text in front of the TV and walked off, and it has filled up until it can't, and it's just recorded every single commercial and transcribed it into text. But just so you know, Aunt Nell, David Gander from Bull County was our principal my senior year. He was only there for the 1 year. We really didn't get to know him that well. We missed Hubert Broadus, but he had done married and needed a little curry, and they done run off to Richmond. So, you can get your information the same way I do. You can just sift through all the other shit to get it. In Sarah Beth Terry news, we're almost full. Like our schedule is filling up. So if you wanted to schedule a private event, a house concert, something in your neck of the woods, we have a handful of dates left. If you'd like to secure one of those, we have, I think, available left June 13th, the 27th, and July the 11th. Yes. So if you want any of those days for us to come, find me a place to play, stay, and smoke, and I will be there. I'm cheaper than oil. And I'm not near as greasy. So, this rain has been for real, though. Like, it just shows up out of nowhere, and it's really aggressive. It's like, rain! And then it stops. It's not like a steady, happy, gentle rain. It's like a aggressive rain. mean rain. It's very mean rain. I don't like the mean rain. So, anyway, I went out and about and pedaled, got us an air filter and a gallon of milk, and come back home. And this evening's mission is to go through the Hometown Sportswear catalog in Barbersville and see what kind of fun new merchandise that we can add to the website that is not available already. Always looking ahead. In the meantime, tomorrow is Thursday. Only 2 more days until the weekend. I know that the Memorial Day weekend threw you off because you only had a 4-day work week, and everybody always feels like they're display. It feels like that week between Christmas and New Year's where you're just like, what day is it? What's going on? Why is it wet? Why is it dark? Hi, Amelia. Thank you. Some people said I am right. Well, Brady, holler at me. I'm still available. July 11th. Did you say June 11th? That's a Thursday. July 11th, I'm free. June 11th is a Thursday. I'm also free except for the Fair Christian Bible Study. Oh, blame it on the rain. What was that, Milli Vanilli? Blame it on the rain. A kiss falling, falling. Do you do lives at the same time all the time? Nope. Just whenever I take a notion and when I need a cigarette. That's why it's important to subscribe or follow me and add me to your favorites, because then it will alert you when I decide to go live and we can all take a smoke break together. Much like smoke breaks in the real world, I go, hey, do you want to go smoke? And they're like, yeah. And then we go smoke. If you schedule it, it's not a smoke break. It's a smoke assignment. Smoke break. Oh, I love my granny so much. Rochelle, she's a hoot. She was going to come visit me, but her sugar's been out of whack, so she's going to come next week. I have to go get her. I'm not going to let her drive 2.5 hours to West Virginia, and she's almost 87 years old. No, I'm going to do that to her. Hello in Dayton, Tennessee. Sonny, how in the world are you today? Hope you're staying dry and happy. My tomatoes are doing great things. I told you that I got 10 clones off my plants already, and I put them in the ground. So hopefully we'll have even more tomatoes. But I'm just trying to fill up the rest of my schedule because, as it turns out, everything going up has also made feed and weed go up too, which means that I'm going to have to start singing a little more to keep up my very extravagant lifestyle. We honestly, I get it. Sometimes you have to go back and listen to half speed because I talk so fast. I just want to get it all out there. I just be like, here it is. Ta-da. Fun. Duh. So, I have noticed that the algorithm has changed on Facebook to where I've lost like 1,000 followers this week, and that's weird because I've had more engagement than ever, and I'm like, I'm talking to more of you all, and I'm seeing more of y'all. Maybe it's just weeding out the bots. I did see a thing on one of the chat forums this morning that it was starting to weed out the bots, so a lot of times you'll have somebody like a page, and then their page gets like banned, or what is it? They just take it off there, or it's not real, like they'll go through. So, you were lip singing, so were they. Welcome to the club. We'll sing for weed. Isn't that what we all sing for? I sing high to get high. I sing low to get high. I need a plant and garden fund. I need a weed and feed fund. But I don't think that you can put that on GoFundMe. So I just sing country songs and show up and give you a hell of a time for 90 minutes for a big concert. And then we exchange, money for goods and services, and then I go to the Tractor Supply and give them my money for my goods and services for their goods and services, and the circle keeps on going. I am fun to hang out with. Glenda, schedule me for a house party, because then I tell you about the songs and who they're about, and make you sign an NDA so you don't tell nobody. I just tell you everything. I could be an auctioneer, but I talk too fast. Give me 5, 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 and 10, and 10, 10, and 10, 15 in the back, 15 in the back. Yeah, I couldn't do it. The only time that I could ever auctioneer is, hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? I do anything to become I don't mind. I do your bidding in the beats, can call. See, that's how I could be an auctioneer if I could sing it. Never seen anyone look so fine, man. I gotta have she's one kind. She's going once, going twice. I'm so to the lady, taking the road. She's station, I know. I'm about to do that hard goodbye. You speed it up to about chipmunk speed, and you learn how to talk like the micro machines, man. Well, Rita, you should be sorry. Where the hell you been? God, waited all day for y'all. I have 2 settings, either awake or not. That's it. I'm either going balls to the wall or I hit the wall and crash. That's it. There's no Okay, I'm starting to get warmed up. No, I hit the ground running, and I'm like, everybody out of my way, I have a day to do. And then I crashed. Heather, it's always that time. I don't want to keep the weeds from growing. I put them out there on purpose. But thank you. I think you misunderstand what our gardening is. That's a joke. All I have is peppers and tomatoes out there and some mint. And the mint's taking over anything else. It's choking out all the weeds, thank goodness. Why not? That's what it's good for. So tonight's agenda is I'm going to get in there and make some supper. Send out a few more contracts because thank you for scheduling some events today. I talked to a few of you on the phone and I'm excited to come see you. That's thunder. How much is a house party? Send us a message, Rita. We will be glad to work with you. It really varies depending on how far away you are. So, but we'll work with you. Sarah Beth Terry booking at gmail.com, or you can get on sarahbethterry.com and leave us a message, or you can send me a message on here and be like, I want to have you have a house party on this particular date. And I'll be like, oh, okay. There is a base charge, but again, it's based on mileage. There's a scale that our label gives us that's like, hey, if it's this far away, you have to charge this much to pay for your gas. So that's why I'm not a numbers person. I'm a words person. I let my husband handle all that. Make sure everybody's all right. Leon, Sue, I love that you're keeping it, baby. Thank you. Appreciate you. I am growing my own food, both protein and vegetation. I've got peppers, tomatoes, some broccoli. I got some celery growing now, and I got chickens and eggs. So, you know, I'd love to come to Iowa. Never been. Drove through it once. Didn't get to stop. There's no place too far. We will go. We went to Montana last year. We went to 17 states last year in about 13 days. We will go. You was on the phone with your son in prison. Well, I'm sorry, Reed. I didn't mean to pick on you. But I'm glad you're here now. I just had to give you a hard time because you said you was late. And I was like, well, where have you been? I've been waiting all day. Damn it. I just giving you grief. You're a good mama. Gas is super expensive. It now costs less to have an ounce of weed than it does to have a tank of gas. If only we could float while we fly. So I'm pretty excited about that. Got a few tomato plants in the ground, Heather. That's awesome. You can also start your starters and clone those. You know that once it gets to that big thing comes out, and then you get that one little, like in the middle, you can pinch him off and put him in the ground once he gets little white hairs on the bottom, and you can clone your tomatoes. You can start with 5 and get like 30. I did it last year. Peppers you can hardly do that with, but I do recommend Kim's Greenhouse in Milton, West Virginia for all of your greenhouse and gardening needs because they have everything. And cheap. Back when car doors had ashtrays, remember, Nick? Back when gas was fun. Where's the other Iowa person from? You should get together. Heather Smith Fedler. Who's the other person from Iowa watching? I just looked. Mary Ellen Peterson. Mary Ellen Peterson. You should meet Heather Smith Fedler. Y'all are both in Iowa. You could have a joint house party, and I'll come play for both of you. Told you this story once, right? I started a fan club back in 2017 with the heads of state, which I thought sounded fun, more fun than fan club president because the Queen has heads of state. So I had a head of state in Texas, God rest her soul, and I had a head of state in Illinois. And did not know it till they were both in the fan club website and like chit-chatting on the chat forum. They were sisters and hadn't spoken 15 years. My music brought them back together. Is that not crazy? And there at the end of Tina's life, she really got to be close with her sister again. And they were like, we talked about Sarah Beth. And I was like, that's awesome. That makes my heart happy. Music is universal language. It's like that explorer, what was his name that they based Indiana Jones off of? We just watched a thing about him last night. I can't remember his name. Anyways, the early 1900s, he was charting Peru and Bolivia and Belize and like charting Brazil, charting the jungle, first person to ever make a map of it. And the only instrument they had with them was an accordion. And they came upon a band of natives who tried to kill them. And one of them ripped out the accordion and started playing it. And everybody started laughing. And they made friends with the natives, and then they got all the way through, and that was the first guy that's ever charted the Amazon, even though he was attacked by an anaconda and a rattlesnake. Pretty amazing. They based Indiana Jones on him, that third one. We're not going to talk about the first one. The entire first Indiana Jones did not need to have Indiana Jones in it. It's the same movie whether he's in it or not. The same thing happens, the same outcome, the same ending of that movie happens whether or not Harrison Ford was in it or not. Doesn't that piss you off? He did nothing to contribute to this movie. Nothing. 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 Hi, Stacey Franklin Patterson. I just found you recently, too. Welcome. There's another Patterson. Oh, my gosh. See, my friends are making friends. This is what the porch is for. Drop where you are. You might make a friend. And then y'all can get together and be like, where should Sarah Beth come play in the place that we both live? Lisa Hamblin Moreland, you better start warning the locals and tell them all to get ready with their SBT shirts because I'll be there May 1st, 2027 to headline Mayfest, and I expect to see my entire rowdy bunch. I haven't seen them in 15 years. We had a whole coven of us. I called it that because we was in Louisiana. Exactly. They're picking on us for smoking cigarettes. Listen, we don't bother you. We're standing outside. It's usually cold and rainy. We're not offering you one. We might bum a light. Or, don't worry. Hi, Sarah Toon. Good to see you in Alabama. We need to come to Alabama. Massachusetts. The spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America. The spirit of the red, white, and blue. I know that song, sorry. From Sapphire, come on back to my house. I'm so excited to be in Sapphire on June the 6th. If you haven't RSVP'd yet to be at the Fix for that big show, you better do it now because it's going to fill up quick. Rita C. Somebody was from Yellville, Arkansas. I remember that. Heather's not far from Omaha, Nebraska. Find us a show. And it's really easy. Get on your Google, on your AI mode, or your Chat GPT or whatever, and be like, where are the top 20 venues within 50 miles of my house that would be perfect for Sarah Beth Terry to play in? And they will literally give you numbers. Use it the right way. It's a tool. The same people pissed off about AI are the same people pissed off about gun control. That gun kills people. No, it don't. People with guns kill people. AI's taking over the world. No, it's not. People who don't know how to use AI are fucking it up for the rest of us. It's not just willy-nilly. You have to learn it. It's a skill. It's an acquired skill to know how to manipulate the AI so you work together and it works for you and not against you, or you don't work for it. This is not going to be a rise of the robots. Everybody calm down. As long as you learn how to tame the dragon, you won't get burned. But everybody else who's bitching and moping and carrying on, I don't like the AI poster. I don't like the AI. I don't like... Explain something to you. The first time that you went to a store and saw a Monet painting that was not hanging in a museum with real paint on it, that was AI. The first time that you listened to a song on streaming instead of putting a CD into your CD player, that was AI. The first time that you flew your vocals from one chorus to the other when Pro Tools came out, that was AI. Now it's just a little more blatant and in your face and accessible to everybody else, just like the iPhone's been out for 40 years, but we didn't get it until 2005. That's AI. You want to get rid of AI? Learn how to read cursive, do your own math, and get a map. Because your GPS will go, your phone will go. And while we're talking about things on a smartphone, we need to address this now in 2026 for the very last time. Grammar is important. If I have to learn your pronouns, you have to learn the parts of speech. I said that to somebody the other day. They were like, you're crazy. Y-O-U-R. And I was like, first of all, it's you are, or Y-O-U'-R-E, meaning you're. It doesn't matter. I bet you're fun at parties. Well, I bet you're fun in a library. I bet you're fun writing a paper. I bet you're fun having a normal, educated conversation with anybody over the age of 10. It's important to know the parts of speech. And I refuse to call anybody by any pronoun that doesn't look obvious to my face if you can't learn the parts of speech. There's 8 parts of speech. Pronouns is a very small part of it. You're on a smartphone. I can understand if you were typing this out on a typewriter, dictated, not read. My bad, there's a typo. That's why we invented whiteout. You're on a smartphone. Learn your parts of speech. Otherwise, you just sound stupid. You don't want to sound as stupid as you look. Some of you look real stupid. Just saying. You don't know what your military is doing. I know exactly what the military is doing. I was around when they were using the first AI drones in the early 2000s, and everybody was like, this will never take off. We know exactly what we're doing. The problem is that we don't want everybody else to know exactly what we're doing, and we're kind of pissed off that they're learning the technology of what we're doing. I know what our military is doing. The reason that you can still sit here with free speech on a social media platform, you can thank the military for. Because otherwise, you would have a government telling you everything that you need to know. Like in China, We still have freedom of speech, but not freedom of consequence from that speech. So keep that in mind. And as long as you trust God and put your shit in line, you don't have to worry about the rest. Jennifer, I'm right there with you. I know 25-year-olds that don't left from right. My water bill has went sky high. I've hired 5 different chicken sitters since I've been in West Virginia, and none of them know they're left from their right. And my water bill goes through the roof because they don't know lefty, loosey, righty, tighty. I turned the water off. No, you didn't. You turned it on full blast and then left for 3 days. Thank you for the $1,000 water bill. We're not as concerned with basic principles of society as we are about, do you know this? We need to get back to the basics a little bit, because it seems like some of us missed that day in school. Well, Nick, I don't know what you're talking about then, but it sounds like you're real tore up about it. Sorry. I am married to a man that's no longer in the military for this reason. I did enough of it. I didn't even serve, and I was around it for 15 years and moving every 3 years and signing NDAs and getting security clearances and getting asked questions behind closed doors. I understand what all goes on. There's a reason why I'm not in the military. If you could start at major and work yourself up to general and do PT around noon, I might consider it. But considering that they do more before 9 a.m. than most people tend to do all day, that's not a selling point for me. Stay my ass in the bed or on the porch. Again, we're going off on a digression that I don't give a damn about. I don't give a fuck enough about that to give a fuck about it, but I appreciate it. Anyway, can't just be handing out your bucket of fucks to everything. You have to find what you give a fuck about. If it doesn't directly involve me, if there's not a drone in my front yard trying to kill me, I ain't worried about it. Maybe don't try to hide nuclear weapons, and then we won't come over there and take them away from you. That's all I'm saying. Young Bill, somebody needs to block him and report him right now, because that is a bot. Looking at it right now. Let me get rid of him. All right, banned him. Sorry. Every now and again we'll get a bot in here. So, had to get rid of him. If you're trying to advertise anything besides Sarah Beth Terry music on my page, you're a bot. Nope. Oh. Right, Mary Ellen? I had a granny like that. I'd be like, can I go get some candy? I don't know, can you? May I go get a piece of candy, please? Yes, you may. But I thought we should go over the news since it was raining and it was on my mind. And I saw a couple of headlines come through, especially the Joe Biden suing the DOJ. And I was like, that's concerning. Just wondering what's going on. But again, if it doesn't directly concern me at this direct moment, what am I going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What's anybody going to do about it? Let Thomas Massey read the names. Burn it all down. Kick it down. Start over. I don't care. And now all the files from MK Ultra are being released. So all the shit I said about the GATE program 2 years ago and everybody got their panties in the wad, fixing to come to light. Where's my book? Told y'all this a long time ago. You can hate the information or the source of the information. I'm just the messenger. I'm just telling you what I know. I'm telling the patterns that I recognize. I'm telling you the things that I have learned in the 42 years that I've been drawing breath on this little green marble. Sometimes you know things. Haven't we already report? We're trying to get rid of this young Bills person. We've now banned him 3 times from this thing. That's a bot. So don't respond. And if you see it pop up, report it. Grace, what time's supper? We'll be right there. That's awesome, Liana. So you found a patch of wild chamomile today? That is so cool. You know how to dry it out and make tea out of it, right? It's the best. Make sure no dogs have peed on it, though, because that'll ruin it every time. It's like dandelions. You want to get out there, but you're like, has any animals defecated on this dandelion before I make it into a jam? You have to be careful. You don't know. And now bobcat fever's going around, so you got to be careful. Well, friends, I just want to get on here for a second and visit with you. We've been on here almost 45 minutes and visiting and carrying on. My hummingbirds are enjoying the new feeder that I put out. That's exciting. Nick, you sound like you could write a whole book about some stuff. Maybe you should start a channel. So, I'm surprised Biden is still alive, considering that we killed him 15 years ago and replaced him with a drone actor. But that's all right. You know, what do I know? That's not him. His birthmarks are different. I also have questions about John Travolta, who has shrank 9 inches since his last public appearance. And now he's wearing Samuel L. Jackson's hat. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Don't trust any of it. I trust none of what I hear and half of what I see. Verify, but trust. Right? Trust, but verify. Sorry, I got it. X that, scratch it, reverse it. I'll take you at your word as long as I can. But as soon as I start to doubt that word, I'm going to verify. That's just good journalism. Be like, this is only from one source. Maybe I should variety my sources. Can you transplant wild chamomile? No, that's something I don't know. Honestly, we'd have to ask somebody. Is anybody a gardener better than me with a green thumb? Can you transplant wild chamomile? I would think, considering that it's part of the daisy family, that you probably could as long as you had a substantial amount of roots. But again, that's something worth Googling. Because I'm not sure. Some wild plants you can't domesticate. Just saying. There's another Sarah Beth. What? Good to see you. We do have the Feral Christian Bible Study tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. If you'd like to join us here on the porch, make sure you join us and visit and share that with your friends. It'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm not going to tell you the Bible study topic yet because I haven't finished it. I take my time on those. It's like a sermon. I know we've been live today, but I'm trying to catch up because I've had kind of a crappy couple of days and I was hiding under my rock. So I'm like, now I need to go in here and talk to my friends, make it feel better. It's like Dolly always said, listening to somebody else's problems is a good way to forget about your own. So, in the meantime, it is now 6:30, which means it's dinner time here on the mountain, which means I need to get in there and start cooking. That's what I know. But I'm so glad that you joined me tonight on the porch. I'm glad that you all hang out with me and listen to my music and share my stuff with other people and follow my page and invite me to shows. I really appreciate that more than you could ever know. That's why I get to do what I do. I enjoy writing songs and telling stories and bringing people together, and I feel like that's my mission on this earth, and I'm going to do it as long as I can. So thanks to people like you, thanks to viewers like you, we can still do that. So, again, we only have a handful of dates left between now and the end of 2026, so if you'd like to schedule us for a private event or a party, let us know. You can contact us on here or on the website or on SarahBethTerryBooking@gmail.com. Remember, Sarah's with an H like the good Lord intended. In the meantime, speaking of the good Lord, keep your Bibles open, your powder dry, and your head on a swivel because people are acting crazy. Be nice to old people, animals, and children. Love your neighbor, and if you can't, give it to God because he loves you and I do too. There's nothing you can do about that. Sorry, I love you, and I mean it. In the meantime, remember, and perhaps the most important of all, I'm Sarah Beth Terry. You're not. Bye.